Hi, thanks for installing Emma for Salesforce. This is a quick start guide to show you how easy it is to add records to Emma and see that data flow back into Salesforce. We're presuming here that you've installed the connector and you have connected it. Part of the overview will show you how the import wizard works, which is a great way of getting records into Salesforce. The import wizard uses either Salesforce reports or list views. You'll already have some list views set up, but if you want to create a custom report or list view so it puts the data in that you want, best to set that up before following this guide. So let's start by going to the Emma application, and we're going to choose standard. Now once here, you'll see on the left hand side there's an option for the import wizard. So on the import wizard screen here, I'm going to go ahead and click the new import button. As mentioned earlier in the demo, you will need a report or a list view to proceed. Salesforce comes with a number of list views already built, so a lot of customers tend to use those. I'll work with a list view just for kind of completeness. You're asked on a list view to choose object and view. In a report, you're asked which folder and which report, so very similar screens. And many of our customers work with a lead object, although as you can see there, you can work with custom objects. And I'm going to choose the all open lead list view, which is again a standard view. Now this screen is showing what fields are actually on the list view and what fields I can map to an Emma. We automatically pre-populate email address. If we can't find email address, then we won't be able to proceed because it's required to add in. And indeed, I could simply click next and import without importing any additional information. But if you want to enrich your data in Emma, you can map these custom fields. So I'm going to go ahead and map first name and last name. Now company is actually in this list, it's here, but let's imagine it wasn't. On the fly, I can actually create fields in Emma right from this screen. So if company didn't exist, for example, I could create a new text field. Maybe I want to call it account rather than company. And that would go ahead and create that in Emma and also map it to the Salesforce list view here. I'll go ahead and add lead source. So we also have the possibility of using Salesforce ID. So Salesforce ID, if you map and add a record using the import wizard, will be stored in Emma. You can then use that to map back and create the records in Salesforce using the ID instead of the email address. So it's very useful if you've got duplicate records because you're not reliant on trying to map to the email address. You're actually mapping to a particular Salesforce contact or lead using the ID. And I'll show you what that looks like a little bit later. So I've got the possibility just to click the import now, and when I do that, this information will be imported into Emma as a one-time run. But I can also schedule the import to run automatically, automating the process. And I can choose either every day of the week, or in this example, I'm just going to choose every working day. In terms of when the actual import runs, I can have it run again at different time slots. I can choose one time slot, I can choose 12 here, or I could choose a number of different time slots. And just beneath that, in addition to adding people to the Emma audience, I can also select groups that they want to be added to. So for example, I can select a couple of groups here, and so that when the import runs, any records will go ahead and be added to that group. Now I can click save, and that will be put the process in place, or I can click save and import, which will put the process in place and do this one-off import, this import right now. Now we'll see a record being created, and it will run pretty quickly because only a few records here, and you can see it's already completed in real time. So it ran a few seconds ago, and it's going to run again in 4 hours time. You can see the status there is completed. I can also click on the little drop down button on the right hand side there, and I can see the results. So as mentioned, there's only 15 records in this data set, so it's pretty small, but there were no failures. The kind of failures and things you might see are things like duplicates or invalid email addresses. So with that completed, we can now go ahead and close this window. So the next step is in Emma. I'll go into Emma and send my campaign. The audience will be populated from the actions that we've just done, and I can obviously segment groups and do what I need to do in Emma. On the integration side, you probably want to see that information flow back, and the kind of information you're going to see flow back is us displaying email tracking and showing that a person's on a list and their current state. So as you can see here, we've got a contact here, Andy Young, He's on the Emma audience. We see kind of one record here. We can see that he was added fairly recently and his state is active. If indeed Andy had unsubscribed from an email that we'd sent him, we'd expect that state to be changed to unsubscribed, and that happens when the primary sync runs, which by default is every hour. In addition, if the record has hard bounced, we'd expect that state to say bounced. And just beneath that, we've got email mailing history. Now we're seeing here, this is kind of a real-time look into Emma. So when we've clicked on this record, we've called out to Emma, we've pulled back this email tracking, so we can see that he's been sent a few test campaigns here that were sent a few months ago. He's opened and he hasn't really clicked on them. We can, if we want to, click on this button here to view the template that was actually sent. It'll pop up another screen just to show us what the person was sent. So very, very straightforward. And I hope this quick start guide has helped to show you how easy it is to add records to Emma, to keep them in sync if you're looking to enrich them with custom fields, and how the information flows back, what you'd expect to see on a Salesforce contact or lead record in terms of list membership, and also what email history they've been a part of and their kind of interactions with it. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. Thank you.